Hey amigos y amigas, today we are going to learn about saying thanks. We're going to learn about expressing gratitude. So we know those basic phrases like thank you or thanks, but did you know that there are other ways of saying thanks? Did you know that there are other ways of expressing gratitude? Well, in today's show we are going to learn what the other phrases are, okay? So let's begin. All right, let's go. Welcome again. Welcome to today's show. My name is Milena from EnglishMadeSimple.net, EnglishMadeSimple.net. And you are listening to episode number 179, number 179. Whew, so many numbers there. And that was in Spanish, número 179. Okay, great. How is everyone doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're keeping out of mischief. Awesome. Well, let's jump straight into today's show. I'm going to keep it short. It's going to be a quick one today. Short and sweet. Radio. So, as the name suggests, today's show is about expressing gratitude. And what do I mean by this? Well, do you know how to say thank you in other ways other than thank you? I'm sure this phrase was one of your first ones when you were learning English, right? Thank you, thanks. Well, let me just say something first. We say thank you or thanks. So thanks is short for thank you, right? We say it so often that it almost sounds like whatever. Almost sounds like, oh, okay, right, yeah, okay, whatever. It almost loses its meaning because we say it so often, right? And what's the other word that we use very often? In my opinion, this word also is one of those overly used words, like sorry. Sometimes we say sorry for the things that really don't require us to apologize. You know, it's not our fault. We don't need to say sorry, but we just say sorry, you know. And it's one of those words that we use quite a lot. And so thank you is another one. But these words are really important in the English language. They're really important. Thank you and sorry, you have to use those words everywhere you go, right? By the way, thanks for short is informal. So if you're writing letters or emails like for your exams or in professional kind of setting, if you're writing professional emails, then please don't write informal thanks. Please just write it out. Write those words out completely and say thank you. So 2 words, thank you instead of thanks. Great, I just wanted to point that out in case you're doing exams or something like that. And that was just my tip for you guys today. So let's begin. Just to refresh your memory, the basic ways of saying thank you are thanks so much. Wow, thanks so much. Okay, that's one that you've probably heard before. Another one that probably some of you haven't heard is thanks a million. Thanks a million or million thanks. Use this one with your friends or people that you know very well. Okay, it's also informal. Thanks a million. Another one basic way of saying thank you is thank you very much. And I use this one often. I prefer using this. I prefer saying thank you very much rather than saying a quick and short thanks. I prefer saying, oh wow, thank you very much. Even if it's a small favor or if it's a small thing that someone did for me, I say, wow, thank you very much. So I guess it's a good catchphrase for you guys to know. Alrighty, so those were basics, okay? Those were basic ways of saying thank you. Let's see some different ways of showing your appreciation or your gratitude. To some of you, this might sound basic, all right? I'm going to share some phrases with you. But to the rest of you, it might be something you had not heard of before. Okay, so I'm going to share some phrases with you that may not be so basic. For example, let's imagine someone stops you on the street to ask for directions to the museum, for example, okay, a tourist on the street. You give them directions to the museum, and then you also say something like, oh, well, I'm already going towards the museum. I'm already going there, and I can just walk with you if that's okay. I'm not going to rob you anything. I'm not a creep. I'm not a thief. All right, so I'm just going to help you get to the museum. And this person replies to you and says, thank you. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. Kind, all right? Kind is something that we don't use often, some of us, but we should. It's a really good word to know. Kind means generous or nice, okay? And it is spelled as K-I-N-D, D for dog. But it's pronounced kind, okay? Kind, and there's no a in there, okay? And we don't say kind. It's pronounced kind. And according to Weon Inteligente, or the online dictionary, and I told you he was back, Weon Inteligente is back. Kind means having or showing a friendly, generous, or considerate nature. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I don't know if you've noticed, but I also added a new sentence in there. I said, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Some native speakers pronounce this as I appreciate. I appreciate it. But sometimes you will hear native speakers say, I appreciate it. And to my ears, it sounds really nice when somebody says appreciate. I'm used to hearing appreciate rather than appreciate, but both are correct, okay? You won't make a mistake if you say appreciate or appreciate. Cool. I just wanted to point that out. And I appreciated sentence. It means you're extremely grateful. You're really, really, really grateful to that person. And you can add it in anywhere, really. For example, you can say, thanks very much, I appreciate it. And I tend to use this phrase, appreciate it. Wow, thanks, I really appreciate it, thank you. Thank you very much, I really appreciate it. So that's another way to express gratitude when you're really, really grateful for something. What's another way to express gratitude? What could you say? Maybe you've heard other people say this. I don't know, but let's see. Okay, another way you could express gratitude or say thanks is thank you. You are so helpful. Thank you. You are so helpful. Maybe you've heard this one before. You are so, and then an adjective. You are so kind. You are so helpful. You are willing to help me. You are so helpful. You are so thoughtful. You are so caring. That's very nice of you. You are so caring. You are so considerate. All right. So I'm giving you some synonyms of helpful. Okay. If you just look for synonyms for helpful, you'll find those words in the dictionary. Cool. Well, thank you very much. You are so considerate. Great. I hope you learned some new phrases in there, and I hope you've learned some new words, some words that you don't use that often. I really wanted to expand your vocabulary. Awesome. Well, I hope that was helpful. As I said, thank you for listening to me blab. That's another way to say thank you, okay? Thank you for, then a verb. Thank you for, okay, plus verb in gerund form, ing. So it's thank you for verb, then you add the ing form. So I just said, thank you for listening to me blab. Thank you for listening to me talk. Let me give you some more examples. Thank you for coming to my party. Thank you for downloading this episode. You can see the pattern there. Thank you for showing me your car. Thank you for sending me the information. If you're writing an email to someone, simply say thank you for plus verb plus ing. This ing sound, okay? Sending, coming, giving, showing, okay? That's the verb we are using. Thank you for sending me that email about the project XYZ. Okay, if you're writing an email to someone. Let me give you some more examples. Thank you for donating and supporting the XYZ charity. Thank you all for listening to the EMS show. Now, can you see the pattern? Can you see how it's always thank you for, then the verb and ing? And by saying it this way and following the formula that I just shared with you, you will sound more fluent. And that's another tip for you guys. It's another tip. I'm full of tips today. Alrighty, so if someone tells you, for example, hey, thanks Milena, I really appreciate you showing me the way to the museum. And thanks for not robbing me. Thanks for not stealing my wallet. Okay, so if someone says to you, well, thanks Milena or thanks Carlos, I really appreciate you showing me the way to the museum. What do you say after that? How do you reply to that person? How would you accept the thanks? Well, what I would recommend you do is just keep it simple. I do recommend you always keep it simple when you're accepting the thanks. You are welcome is the obvious one. Simply say, you're welcome. Or you can say, oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. Or just say, it's my pleasure. You don't even have to say, you are welcome. Just say, it's my pleasure. And another way you could accept thanks is don't mention it. Don't mention it. Maybe you've heard this one. Not sure. Or you can simply say, that's all right. That's all right. And if you are in Australia or New Zealand, if you currently live in Australia or New Zealand, simply say, no worries. No worries. You've probably heard people say, no worries. No worries, mate. No worries. It's kind of informal and it means like no problems. Don't worry about it. No worries. Very simple and informal. So, amigos y amigas, now you know how to say thanks and how to accept thanks. I just wanted to do this episode to really refresh your memory. And I hope you learned some new phrases and new words today. So now I want you to go and practice what you've learned today, okay? Go and do it. Just go and talk to some people. Find some random people and speak to them in English. All right. Well, I told you it was going to be a short episode. I don't have any stories, personal stories to share with you guys because nothing eventful happened this week or memorable, I should say. Nothing comes to mind. But maybe next week I'm going to have some stories for you guys. All right. Well, thanks for joining me today and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's show. It was short and sweet. All right. Thanks, amigos. You've been an amazing audience and you've been jamming with Milena from English Made Simple. Until next time, hasta la próxima.